Hello, it is now time for our featured resident here at Redstone Park. And this time around, we have a real special guest. We're talking with Eugene McBride. And Eugene, you've been here at Redstone for a little while. About how long?
15 months.
Terrific. Before we sat down for the interview, we were talking about where you came from originally, and you said you really don't want to know. And I said, well, yeah, I really do want to know. And that was where?
Brooklyn, New York.
Well, after 15 months here, and you had time in Texas prior to that, I think you're a legal Texan now. But anyway, we'll have to work on your drawl.
You got to put 8 years in Vegas. That's the important time.
That was the important time. Well, listen, thanks for being with us and spending some time with us this morning. You grew up in Brooklyn, and as a kid, what did you like to do?
Roller skate and play roller hockey,
Street hockey?
street hockey.
Were you good?
I was one of the fastest skaters.
I think you still are. I see you going up and down the hall on that walker.
Well, I can do it a little bit.
Well, your sense of humor is terrific, and you always got a smile on your face. Live Oak Management that owns and operates Redstone Park here really takes pride in this being a family-type operation.
Let a smile be your umbrella.
Oh, that's well said. That's well said. This being a family atmosphere here, you really get that family feeling. Watching you have fun and enjoy yourself with the staff and with the residents. You're always looking for a laugh, aren't you?
Of course. I mean, that's what makes the world go around. If you can't smile or laugh at something, you can have a miserable day.
That is so true. After your time in Brooklyn, you grew up. You told me you went into the service. Where did you go?
Marshall Islands,
And that was in what branch?
Navy. I went in 42, and I was in the South Pacific by 43. So I don't know much of what went on there, because I was in what they call a CAS unit, the Carrier Aircraft Supplement Unit. And we were supposed to replenish the crew on a Carrier Franklin. They picked up that crew in San Diego and left us in Seattle, Washington. And we went to Hawaii, and Franklin followed us out about 3 weeks later. And within 6 weeks, it came back into Pearl Harbor, all blown to hell. They lost, I think, 1,100 men on it. They lost all the carrier crew, which would have been me. Wow. Kamikaze, went right into the hangar deck. So that's one of the stories.
Well, your time in the Navy, as they say, join the Navy, see the world. You really did see a lot of the world during that period of time.
Well, seen the Pacific, seen the West Coast, Hawaii, Marshall Islands. We were on Anahuato for a while. The best thing that happened they exploded the atom bomb on that after the war. That should have happened before the war.
Well, your time in the service, and then when you got out, was it long about that time that you became a married man?
No, not until about 10 years later.
Where'd you meet your wife?
She worked for my sister, the telephone operators.
My mom was a telephone operator, too.
Everybody was a telephone operator, everyone. My mother was, and every one of her sisters. My mother put 50 years in. And all my aunts are retired telephone operators. So the McBrides had a hand in there.
Yeah, evidently. Uh, what brought you to Texas eventually? Grew up in Brooklyn, and was it your career? And what did you do? What was your career?
Uh, let's just be honest with you. Printing beer cans and soda cans. It was called lithography. But,
Well, it's an art. It's an art unto itself.
yeah, it's color printing. You have to keep the colors right from running into each other.
Did that involve the photography as well? Did that involve the photography?
No, the photography was a little more complicated, and you had to be really careful with that because you had to blend in colors, and you had to blend them in that the color came out right. Making a new color there. But it's very, very interesting.
And did that bring you to Texas?
What brought me to Texas was I retired. Well, I was getting ready to retire, and I looked at the rent in New York. And I went and I priced one place, and they wanted $500 a month, which was a lot in those days. And I said, well, that's all right now. I can manage that $500 a month. But if they keep increasing the rents the way they are in New York, pretty soon it's going to be up to $1,100 a month. Then I have to go get a job to pay the rent. So my two daughters living in Texas, they told me what the rents were down here, so I moved down here. Be close to the low rents.
Well,
Brought me down to Texas.
sure. And
I moved down to Texas. The manager in the apartment place, well, there's no jobs in Texas here right now. So I turned around and said, we're not looking for jobs. So we're bringing New York money down. Just leave us alone.
well, you're an official Texan now, and you're here at Redstone Park, and you fit right in here. It's a family atmosphere, and you seem to really enjoy that part of the personality of this facility here. In fact, we were preparing to sit down for this interview, and you started singing me a song. What was that?
I forget. I'm always singing stuff.
Would you do one for us?
I don't know all songs. I only know beginning of words or something.
Well, let's hear the beginning of one.
I want to walk with you, and no other will do. I forget the word.
I like the first part, though. Well, that's wonderful. That's wonderful, Eugene. Thanks for spending time with us this morning, and look forward to seeing you up and down the halls.
I'll be there. I don't want to walk without you, baby. Walk without my arms about you, honey. I know that someday we'll have to get indoors.